Rain coming with another deck profile for Phoenix Enderman Games. This is Young Tommy. He about to do his Kozmo kaiju deck profile for y'all. I'm gonna let him take it away.
Okay, I'm gonna start this off with the main deck. I run, because most Cosmos decks run this, triple farm draw. Engine of the deck basically. When you do battle damage, you search out any card you need for Cosmos base, and it's just a floater. And we have 2 Strawman. That one's really good for pulling out banished monsters, and it just leads into better combos. Only 1 Tin Can, because I'm not running Tin Can Turbo. 1 Good Witch and 1 Wicked Witch, because they're both really good pilots to go into ships. And then 1 Dark Lady. When it goes into bigger ships, I run 1 Planet, 1 Eclipser, and 1 Destroyer.
So I only 1 planet.
I side another planet, but I only run 1 because it clogs sometimes, because if you draw into it first hand and you don't have the required to pull it out, it's dead in your hand. And it sits there for a couple turns. Then I run triple Forerunner, because this card is just all around a beast. It's really easy to pull out, because Destroyer's only out one. It's the second best thing, and it gives you 1,000 at the beginning of each turn. 1 Landwalker. 2 Slips. I side a 3rd, just in case. And then 1 Shuttle, because Shuttle helps make a couple monsters in my extra deck, as well as it can help when your opponent has a bigger monster and you need to get over it. Then, besides Cosmos, I run 2 Ghost Ogres, because it combos really well with this deck. You can hit it on your own monster's effects so that you can float, or you can hit it on Cosmotown as well. And then for Kaiju, I run 2 Sticky Strings and 2 Raidens. I run these ones because I run Cosmos with 24 and 28, so I can crash if I want to float. And it just runs really, really well. And then I only run 1 Maxi, because Maxine's only out 1.
Right.
R.I.P. Then when it comes to spells, I run triple Cosmotown. This runs really well with Ghost Ogre. You can activate this effect and then chain this to that. Get this, do whatever effect you did to either add or shuffle, and then you can also destroy it and search. So it just runs really well with that. Then I run 1 Terraforming, because seeing Cosmotown too much can clog, and I found it that 3 Cosmotown and 1 Terraforming just runs really, really nice. Then Kaiju Slumber. I only run 2 Kaiju Slumber because it's only at 2, but I ran 2 before it got hit down to 2, for the sole reason that you only run 4 Kaijus, and seeing this card too much will make it dead, because its effect only works if you have 2 in your deck that you can pull out.
Yeah, most likely you're going to wind up using the effect before you see it. Yeah.
You're going to see one more or less before you even see that card. But then it comes down to 2 Allure Darkness as well. I used to run 3, but when running it at 3, I would see it way too much, and it would hurt more than help when it came down to it. So I just put it down to 2. 2, you see it enough where it doesn't hurt, and it's just amazing. Then I run 1 E-Telly and 1 Twin Twisters.
So why 1 Twin Twister?
Only 1 Twin Twisters because you run Slip Riders, and that's basically your MST of the deck.
Right.
And it's a monster as well. And this, you don't really want to see your Cosmos in graveyard as much, because you only run 2 cards that get them out of your graveyard. So pitching cards to the graveyard would hurt more than help in this situation. Now to traps, I run double Cosmojo. I used to run this triple as well, but it just, at the same time, you would see Cosmojo too much. And this card, seeing it too much will hurt more than help in almost any situation. And then for staples, I run 1 Solemn, 1 Torrential Tribute, and 1 Quaking. This right here also runs really well with the deck because you can use this, destroy your opponent's monsters, and then float back down into your smaller ships or your pilots if you need to. And it runs really well on Quake and Asylum because defense and stop your opponent's bullcrap.
You gotta have Asylum Warning, period.
End of story. That's the main deck. Now, when it comes to extra deck, for this deck, I really don't see extra deck much because I don't really need it. I pull my big monsters out fast and call it a day. But when it comes down to it and I need it, I run Nova to Infinity. You pull this out really easily because you can go either into Shuttle or you can go into Slip Rider. And this runs really fluent. And then Infinity, I don't need to explain Infinity. Infinity is Infinity.
Right.
End of story.
GG if you get him on the field. Just stop right now.
Just quit. Now when it comes to extra deck, or not extra deck, side deck, I run one Kozmo Joe Slip Rider. So if your opponent runs really beefy back row, you can always sub it up to 3. I run one extra Dark Lady for if your opponent runs really like if your opponent's deck relies really heavily on monsters effects that you feel you can stop and shut them down. This is really nice to run at 2. But without that, it just clogs at 2. But at the same time, it runs nice. It's really weird, really weird. Then 2 Effect Veilers, you can sub out the Ghost Ogres for these because Effect Veiler is Effect Veiler. You're shutting down your opponent's effects and calling it a day. Then I have the 1 extra planet. I side this more than run it for the purpose that it can clog. But at the same time, if you can get it out first turn, it's more or less GG because it's a 4K, it can't be targeted. You can shut down spells if you have Cosmos in the graveyard. And this is really nice for, like, let's say, an ABC deck. If you pull this out against an ABC deck, nothing's going to stop it unless they can... You go first, you drop this, they drop ABC, or they drop something big like that. They're not getting over this. And it can't be targeted, so it can't be banished. Then I run 2 Cosmo Light Swords. It's really funny, but I run this because when I'm going against decks that shut down special summoning, this is really nice to stack up on, like, Wicked Witch, or Good Witch, or Farm Girl. Give them plus 500, they can attack your opponent's monsters twice, and you can double equip, and then when they're sent to graveyard, pay 800 and add it back. Put this on a ship, and now they're even stronger. It's just really, really nice. But that's why I only side it. But that's it.
You got anybody you want to shout out?
I'm going to shout out teams I'm repping. Team Paradox and Team Phoenix.
All right, it's a wrap.